wherever you are. Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about healing as well as God's glory. Let's get into the word. So today I'm going to be reading from two verses, two different stories which are similar. So I'm going to be reading from John chapter 5, verse 5. One of the men lying there had been sick for 38 years. When Jesus saw him, and he knew he had been ill for a long time, he asked him, "Would you like to get well?" The man replied, "I can't, sir," the sick man said, "for I have no one to put me in the pool when the water bubbles up. Someone else always gets there ahead of me." Jesus told him, "Stand up, pick up your mat and walk." Instantly the man was healed. He rolled up his sleeping mat and began walking. But this miracle happened on the Sabbath. So now I'm going to read the second verse. So the second verse is taken from Luke chapter 13, verse 10 to 17. On a Sabbath, Jesus was teaching in one of the synagogues, and a woman was there who had been crippled by a spirit for 18 years. She was bent over and could not straighten up at all. When Jesus saw her, he called her forward and said to her, "Woman, you are set free from your infirmity." Then he put his hands on her, and immediately she straightened up and praised God. So I started thinking to myself, how could these people be suffering for so many years? Imagine not being able to walk for 38 years. Imagine being crippled for 18 years. And yet you seek Jesus every time you seek healing. You pray and nothing happens. And then I started to think, God says he loves us, but why would you let someone whom you love go through all of that? 18 years, 38 years of constant pain and suffering. And yet there you are, seeking and seeking and seeking, and nothing is coming for you. It kind of brought out a feeling of eerie inside of me when I thought about it. You put that in what's in the book and you compare it to yourself. You constantly are seeking healing in your sicknesses and in whatever situations you are, and nothing is happening. Brothers and sisters, these are the reasons that I found God telling me why he lets us suffer and why he lets us go through such pain for so many years. It's not just it's not just the man who was seeking healing for 38 years, or the lady that was seeking healing for over 18 years. It's also us to this day, where we find ourselves wanting God to help us in our situations. We want God to help us to have children. We want God to bear children. We want God to be with us to find marriage. We want God to help us find success. We want God to help us to find a job. I know one of my friends who hasn't had a job for almost 4 years. She's been looking for a job, and to this day she's not working. So those are just the real situations that we have to face, that God is working through us in our darknesses. God wants us, when we find that healing, he wants his glory to shine through us. Because if we don't go through those things, then if God just gives us what we want when we want it, I know I've heard people say this a lot of times, but it's true. If God just gives us something that we want, we won't know, or we won't be ready for that gift that we ask him for. So that is why God lets us work. He works in us in those times of darknesses, in those times of waiting. He works through us because he wants us, when he finally gives us those gifts, that we'll be ready and be able to guard it and look after it. and not just look after it, but when things don't go so well, that we are able to find him and say, God, yes, I know you've given me the car, and right now I can't afford fuel, but God, I know that you will allow me or help me to get fuel to pay for this car, to be able to drive this car, or to be able to, God, I know that although my marriage is not going right now, but God, I know that you will work through me and in my husband so that we will be able to find and work together to better our marriage. Because it's never all birds and bees when we finally get what we ask God for. It still requires work, it still requires his power in seeking him. So we need to know that. So this is why God will let us suffer for so many years, and it's not easy to accept, it's not easy to go through, but God will help you. He will give you healing as long as we are patient and as long as we are constantly seeking him. It is already done, brothers and sisters. That's what I want you to know. It is already done, and God is going to heal you. He's going to help you out of your situation. Just keep seeking him, keep needing him, keep praying, keep doing what you need to do, and it will come to you. Jesus will come and aid you. Okay? So with that being said, like, I hope that you receive what I'm trying to say or what I'm saying. I hope that you understand, because this was a very difficult message for me to speak about, because it's so versatile, like it's so big that for me to put it in together, it was very difficult. So I just hope that you heard my message and my word, and I hope that it helps you, brothers and sisters, because today, even myself, there's things that I require from God, and I've been requiring God since a young age. So to this day, I just have to have faith and keep seeking him and know that he will come to my aid. So that's what I'm trying to say, that God is going to come, and I just want you to hold on and have faith that Jesus is going to work. So if you like this video, please give a thumbs up, and please comment, and if you have any questions, anything that you want to ask, just leave it below. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching for watching. Love you loads.